You recently identified that you are a human design projector, and nothing has been the same since. That was pretty much my experience. So when I first dived into it, there were five key things that I learned, and some of them took less time than others to really integrate and land. So I'm going to walk you through these five things so that hopefully you go about your deconditioning journey and get more out of it sooner rather than later. So let's dive in. Number one, ask for consent before you give feedback. So this is kind of synonymous with wait for the invitation, which is your strategy. And basically, projectors do best when they're invited into things, when they're invited to give their opinion, when they're invited to really exhibit their leadership. And it can come off like you're a little bit of a know-it-all if you try to give the people what you think they want, if they don't say and make it very clear that they want it, unless they're another projector. However, that's 80% of the population that is not a projector. So we're going to default to operating in the world with our own essence and authenticity while being aware that not everyone operates like us. So when you wait for the invitation, that is a way to respect your own energy. So it's not always about other people respecting it. However, this keeps you from feeling like you're constantly trying to prove yourself and prove your worth. And it allows you to simply hone your skills, hone your craft, and be able to be visible and even highlighted in places that truly understand or at least are really open to your value. So this was such a game changer when I first learned it. Other ways to express this would be, hey, do you want my opinion on this? Or can I offer some advice? And gauge not only if they say they're interested, but if it seems authentic. And I used to operate through the paradigm of, well, if they said it, that's on them. If they're lying, they don't really want to hear it, I'm going to tell them anyway. When we are energetically attuned beings, so it's important to identify for yourself what you view as being an authentic invitation. And you don't have to say yes to everything either. So, what it comes down to is identifying both what you're invited to and what you actually want to take part in. You don't need to give your advice to everyone just because you have insight or an opinion. Number two is to introduce more play and relaxation. So, in a society that emphasizes doing, where we might as well be human doers instead of human beings, because there are endless to-do lists, and it's how people prove their worth in society. It's a generator world. Most people are either a generator or a manifesting generator. Around 70% total would fall into either of those two categories. And the reason why you may even get bursts of energy, maybe in a group environment, because your open sacral center is feeding off of all of that energy. So it's not really you. It's a false high that you will crash from. So it's important to really manage your energy and introduce more play and relaxation. So then when you are receiving those right invitations, you're able to show up fully. This really allows you to gain greater clarity. So when you are taking action, it really gets to count. So for example, instead of being paid by the hour, you may consider value-based fees, where it's more about your output because you may be able to do something in 10 hours that it takes someone 100 hours to do when it's really your expertise. That's oftentimes what projectors are here, not necessarily to do, but to give that one insight to someone that really allows their business to take off, or maybe making that one tweak to the messaging and the conversions skyrocket, for example. If you are in your deconditioning journey and it feels unapproachable to have all this rest and play, it's like, where would that even fit in? What I'd like you to do is incorporate little breaks into your schedule and throughout your day, whether it be taking a walk and listening to the leaves crunch under your feet and the soft breeze and just being really attuned, touch a tree. It's really time to prioritize engaging in activities that simply feed the soul, especially if you do identify as someone with a soul who wants to operate from it. It could also be being in a flow state, engaging in an artistic activity. Maybe you love to write. Maybe you like to grab a paintbrush and go to town. Make time and prioritize those activities where you lose track of time. Oftentimes, there is a physical component, whether it be an actual physical exercise, maybe you're a runner, or whether it be creating something tangible where it's something that you don't necessarily even need to monetize. It's just something that nurtures your energy. Number three is, drumroll please, to set healthy boundaries. What are boundaries? In a world where people pleasing is put on a pedestal and living for other people can come really naturally to many projectors, it can be a revelation to decide that you're going to prioritize your energy first. This means making time to do things like work out in the morning, have it be a non-negotiable because that helps fill up your cup. It means like taking the downtime that you need. And again, putting this in your calendar if it doesn't really seem accessible right now. And even when it comes to, let's say, play or downtime, put a block and be like, okay, that's the block. And then just don't plan anything and be intuitive in that block of time that you give yourself every day, every week. It's about working smarter, not harder. And know that you are here to guide, not grind. While it may be tempting to have an open door policy, anyone and everyone at any time, come on in, I want to be accessible, that's not the smartest thing for you to do with your energy. It can be useful to really hone your craft and be in a position where it's possible that people understand that you're an authority in a certain field, and where it may be assumed that you're not going to be approachable in the sense that you're always available. Or you could even have office hours where once a week, once a month, you open up your calendar for a certain amount of time where people have the option to come to you. But you need to teach people to respect your time because your energy can be depleted more easily than other people. And I also like to emphasize it's not about saying no and closing all of these doors around you. You can say, not right now, and I'll get back to you when I have a better idea of my bandwidth or my schedule. You don't need to robotically say, okay, Friday at 2. It's striking that balance of making plans and being a person who's dependable and being able to follow through with them while not overextending. So if you are a little bit of a planner like myself, then it's time to get smart about how you are planning and making time for that rest, making time for being social, and all the things that you know that you value. The fourth is to focus on what feels aligned versus what you should be doing. So again, while most people are the worker bees of the world, we're here to guide. We're here to be visionaries with a mission. And maybe it's not us doing the doing. Maybe we're guiding other people to do things and get those massive results. So first of all, you need to know what your purpose even is so that you can begin to prioritize that and be in alignment with whenever you're about to engage in an activity or with a person, you can ask yourself, does this align with what I'm here on this planet to do? This is going back to boundaries, and this is going into honing your intuition and getting to a place where all the shoulds fall away and you are simply being in your purpose. And for you, it's more about quality over quantity, deep engagement versus spreading yourself so thin and sprinkling your energy all around everywhere. It can be tempting to do that because a lot of people do that. However, I'd like you to think, or not even think, but tune into what really lights you up. What is something that you're looking forward to? And it doesn't mean you never do anything that you don't want to do. Discipline is there for a reason. Like maybe you don't want to work out every morning, but you know the payoff is absolutely worth it. But it's really about checking in with yourself, knowing yourself, and being yourself. Number five, stop the comparison trap. Right now, are you looking at people who have achieved more success than you, which is the signature of a projector who's doing things right? Are you comparing yourself to potentially a generator that can accomplish more tasks in a day where the same workload would kind of leave your mind spinning? So certainly allow yourself to be inspired by other people, but also know that you're operating from a different place. And you may not know if they're a projector or not. It's more about taking that natural tendency to look externally and redirect some of that focus to yourself so that you're able to define what success not just looks like, but feels like for you. I'd also invite you to get into this mindset of celebrating the gift that you can be to others. You can be the person in someone's life who understands them on a deeper level than they've ever been understood. You can be the person that sees a little tweak that they can make in their personal or professional life that can really change the trajectory of their life to get them on the highest path possible. Other people's wins are your wins, but it's not about this ego and doing things to then be able to attribute those successes to yourself. It's more of this intrinsic knowing that it's not about taking a lot of energy and effort. It's simply about putting yourself in situations where people can see you, invite you in, and glean the benefits of being in your presence. So, these have been our 5 tips for navigating a world that doesn't understand you. As long as you understand yourself, you're in a good place doing good things. Okay, so especially if you watch till the end, thank you. And now is a great time if you want to go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. All of the engagement really helps this channel. And I'm looking forward to creating more human design projector content focused on helping you embody your greatest level of confidence that you feel from the inside out. This is Stephanie Toma wishing you a beautifully connected day. Until next time.